Hey folks, Species 7 here, and welcome back. Got a new old game to show you today for our sort of spotlight. And it's a game called Freight Tycoon Inc. and made by a company called Nikita and published by 1C Company, which may be familiar to a lot of you for some really good racing simulations. Although I think this may well be the first Tycoon-style game that I've seen from these guys. So, we'll go into a new game here. The options on that page there, by the way, I can go back again, but they're very basic. During the actual launch screen, you do get to set up resolution, different audio, etc., etc. The only reason I didn't start there is because I believe, from what I've heard before with this, that an awful lot of times, because it switches your screen size, etc., it's kind of ducking out of the game and back in, and that can really sort of cause havoc for recording software. So we're going to start there, and like I said, the options available on that page were quite limited. This is a 2D sort of top-down typical Tycoon game. I'm going to skip the tutorial, go straight to Forest River, and as I say, it is a top-down 2D, so your graphic settings, etc., are only going to make so much of a difference. I mean, you know, think Farming Giant style graphics, etc. They're not what make these games. What makes them, of course, is the level of management, and in this game it's actually pretty darn good. So we're going to go with a 2-star on this. Company logo, that's fine. Let's start the game. What they want us to do here to win this is from 1950 to 1967, and they want us to make $2 million bucks. So let's jump in and see what it has. I always kind of like this. I don't have a ton of hours into it, so I'm not going to, by any means, you know, ooh, I'm an expert at the game, this is the way to play it. But this is a first look. This isn't meant as a tutorial. So we're going to look at the gameplay. Yeah, in case you're wondering, it doesn't stay in that small screen. First thing we're going to do here is pause everything, so we can have a look around and be comfortable with the GUI and what all the buttons and functions and happy-happies are. So you can zoom in, but only so far, right? Putting your clicking your right mouse and holding it will allow you to swing around, swing up, pan out a little bit, and I believe if we go edge of screen, there you are, you can also move across this way as you might expect. Of course, as you see, all the little vehicles and such are frozen right now. So what we have, if we look at our map, this is our garage. There. Over here is our actual company, and if we click on it, we can see a number of things. We can get our information panel, which shows us, well, we basically got nothing because we haven't done anything yet. We have managers. Now, you'll want a manager for your garage, and you'll want a manager for your company, and these will basically boost the stats, which we showed here that we had nothing of. Well, if I had a manager for my vehicles for repairs, then some of these things, like technical assistance, the speed of repairing trucks, would go up depending on that manager's qualifications. And special things, well, we have stuff to kind of just bump up how quick and how well your business runs, right? We can upgrade the office as we go along. We can even jump inside if we want to. Right? So, right now, yeah, it's, even for the period, it's a bit of a wreck. But that, as I say, is our office. We can also look at things like this. This is our garage. Currently, we have, well, nothing. We have no trucks, we have no zip. Here's our repair departments, but again, we have no technicians working there. We have nothing like that going on. So, these things we will do in a moment. We'll close that up. We go down here, we have statistics. Again, not a lot going on. We can jump to the company office window instead of actually going there. Boop. Right, depending where we want to be. There's that. And there's the company. So we can do that either way. Alright. List of contracts. Again, we currently don't have any, but this is how you make your money in the game, of course. And most of these dark circles with a building in them, these are industries. Okay? Like that's Hammer and Sons. And if we click on it, you can see the kind of things that they do. And this is a good point here to show you a few other things. Now obviously they do send out a lot of loggings. We've got some remaining goods here, steel pipes, some food goods, all canned stuff, some crated goods. And you need to meet certain criteria to accept a contract. You need to have the right type of trailer or truck. You know, if you were to accept this, we can see, okay, it takes that kind, right? So we need a truck that's capable of hauling logs, right? There's a timber truck, right? That would do it. If you go down here, you can see required body type for that one would be a tanker truck. So you'd have to have someone with a tanker trailer. That's what you need to accept it. The other thing you need to do is to be able to meet the minimum speed for performance. If you have a truck that'll only do 45 kilometers an hour, you will not physically be able to complete this contract in the required amount of time. Right? And you can see when you hold over, if you look at your mini map, it actually shows you where these goods are going to end up being delivered to. Now all the logs are going to go to one of these two log mills, obviously. As we move along, you can see these things will move around, and that's, if you want something closer to make a contract faster, you can use that to let you know where you're going with it. So, how do we end up actually managing to get some of this? Well, what we probably want to do is buy a truck. We can go in here, click on our truck module up here. As you can see, they start us with 800,000 for this scenario. Now you have a choice in the trucks. You can either buy ready-built trucks with certain types of containers. Like you see, this has got an 8-ton cargo body on it. This has got a 12-ton container, van style, flat deck, etc., etc., container carrier, all of these different types. Or you can buy just a truck style, like so, and starting here you only have the two to choose from, and then buy trailers separately. And to determine, of course, what sort of trailers you want, well, you'd look at these different companies and go, okay, well, right now the guy selling all the logs seems to be the really profitable guy. So if I got myself a truck and threw a log trailer on it, we'd be good to go. So, but let's start with a truck, shall we? And we are going to buy, well, we're not going to go too cuckoo. The Canopus is going to cost us 200,000. It's good for 20 years, and it'll do 65K. And down here, if we look, complexity of maintenance is normal. So we're not going to need a real fancy maintenance department. So to buy one of these, you can simply click it with your left mouse and drag it up into the slot. There we go. We just bought a truck. This thing moving down at the bottom is our messages. It tells us now that we have this truck stored in our garage, or as it puts it, car stopped in garage. Now we're going to buy a trailer for it. And before I do that, I'm going to bounce around to a company or two and see what's going on. We can go back up here, see what these guys, Hammer and Son, because I'd like to, in Tycoon style, the more business you do with a company, the better your contracts become, right? So, yeah. What if we wanted this one? We would need a logging body style truck. Okay, so I think that's what we're going to start with. We go back to this guy. Okay, I think we need to go back to our garage to do this. I thought I could do it from the truck. My apologies. Here we go. Excuse me. Alright, that doesn't let me do it. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry. I just needed to click that one instead of the other one. And we want to buy this one that will allow us to carry logs, right? Timber. Ah, there we go. That's the one we want. We're going to drag that onto our truck. We now have a timber drive. What we need to do now is find a driver. And again, you can see they all have trailers beside their names. We want one who can haul timber. And we can click there. I think this will turn all of these off. There we go. So just the people that can run a timber trailer. We'll grab this guy and put him in there. We now have a truck and a driver capable of doing a job for this company. Simple enough, right? So now if we click on the company and we go, well, here's probably the smallest one. We got 154 days, 5 ton, 55k. I think we can probably take this one, right? So you can either drag it onto your truck or you can sign the contract for it and then assign it to your truck here, right? And we are of course going to assign it to the only truck we currently have, that guy there. So we'll drag the contract up there. Now when we unpause the game, he will actually start on his way to that contract. Let's go and have a look at where he is. Alright, now at 1 times speed, you can see there he is. He's pulling out, hooks on his trailer. There we go. And off he goes. So something we're probably going to want to do, just while he's gone, is go to our company, and we're going to want to hire some people, preferably managers. We want a technician and a manager. So we want a car manager. I'm not sure which of these is car manager, so here we go. So I'm going to hire her as a car manager. Good. And then down at the garage, or up at the garage I guess, we are going to want to, oh, I was at the garage, sorry, there we go. Here we want to hire a technician. So let's hire a technician, shall we? Oh, we're bringing in money from our contract. Look at that. Technician, 14%, 12%. I like this guy. Alright, we now have a technician, so if our truck breaks down, let's just quickly pause the game again here. And you can see here, we have made $21.50 off that part of the contract, another $21.50 on that part, and we have completed it for $4,500. So now we can see our truck up here has no contract. I'm going to go back. What's that showing us? Why is he sitting there? Oh, because the time has stopped. I'm going, why is he stuck on the bridge? Well, because I stopped time. So if we go back to this company now and see what else they've got up. Oh, here we go. Let's accept that one. Just drag it in there. Now again, when we start the time, away we go. He will get back to the garage, turn around, come in here, and start this one all over again. You can see, we are started making a profit. So, but that's about what I wanted to show you guys on the first time around. Now, you'll see we have currently space to buy another truck. So, let's say I wanted to start taking like the construction materials. I need a truck with a container, right? So, let's go to here. Let's go to our actual trucks. I'm going to buy another of these. And then, as for trailers, I want this. So let's turn these off. Grab a flat deck. Beautiful. Hire a driver. And we want only drivers of container style vehicles. You will do. Oh. There we go. We now have a driver. We can close all of these. We can go here and go, hey, how about we take this job and give it to this driver. There we go. As you see, it's now opened up a third slot for another truck. I would advise for the first little bit, because as you see, we're now down to under 100,000, that you let these guys make you some money before you go too much further. Ooh, look, we actually have something going on with our stats now. So there we go. Like I said, just a quick look at this to start with. If you guys are interested and want to see a little bit more of it, how this develops and how you end up managing more than just the one little vehicle, we'll send them back on their way. That shows you his route. Right, we can stretch out here. You can look at the car if you want to. You can have a look at the contracts. You can even dismiss the contracts if you care to. And like I say, every once in a while you'll get something coming up telling you your vehicle needs repairs. Then you can send it to your garage and allow it to do that because you have a technician. If you don't, well, they would tell you so as soon as your vehicle broke down. Sorry, no technician, please hire one. So I like to get that out of the way early just to make sure I don't get completely stuck. So there you go, guys. That's been our first look at this. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like if you want to support the series, and let me know, do you want to see some more of this? Do you want to see how it plays out? Because like I said, in true tycoon style, the more these companies develop, the more the areas around them will. So your city will build up, you'll get more contracts, new companies, etc. It's really quite cool. Another cool thing about it, at least as far as I think, is, well, it's usually not a whole bunch of money. There's our two vehicles passing each other. Way to go, gentlemen. I think I paid less than $4 for it on Steam. I think the normal price is about $6 and change, and I've seen it included in bundles from Bundle Stars, Desura. Steam has occasionally kicked it half price. It's worth it. As a matter of fact, it would be worth whatever you would pay for a similar tycoon game. So, excuse me. Till next time, guys, this has been Species 7 with Industry Tycoon Inc. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care of each other, and ciao for now.